that looks tasty. Welcome, folks. Stay the Hungry Gamers back with the annual Three Idiots Game of the Year tournament. And I am joined by the two biggest idiots I know, Michael Kelly, he of the best podcast in the world, according to BGG. He even has a medal, which amazingly he has on his person right now. It's so
I'm not
weird.
showing that right now. Move on.
And Mark Dainty, the only guy I know who had a midlife crisis and chose to run a marathon instead of buy a fancy car.
Yeah, this is true. Couldn't afford a fancy car.
Well, yeah, I think you've paid for it. You've paid for the marathon.
This is true. My knees have.
Yeah. But so here we are again. If this is your first time watching or listening to this, what's going to happen is we've each picked 4 games that we covered this year on our channel. They could be prototypes. They might be released this year. They may have been released last year. Doesn't matter. Just covered last calendar year, I should say, because it is 2026. And I put them in a bracket, which you can see on the screen right now if you're watching. And we're going to argue for them. And the third person gets to play judge for each matchup, and anything goes. If you are butthurt because you felt you were wronged previously, that is fair game. If you just don't like the cut of somebody's jib, that is fair game. If you are upset that you have lost every year on your freaking idea, that's fair game. And I don't know who that might be.
So how many of you will win of this? Sorry, just going over that, yeah?
I have I don't have the numbers in front. I'm going to Mike Johnson this. I don't have the information about that to talk about that.
Okay. This is what, year 4 of it now, I think?
Yeah, year 4. I believe we started out with the perennial classic Exceed fighting system.
Yeah. Still not played it.
Still my number one.
I don't recall what won the second year.
It was it one of my, have I won 2 or has Mike won 2?
Yeah, you're 2 in a row.
You've won 2 in a row, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but I remember last year was Elder Scrolls, which makes Mark's first number
Why
one
did you
pick.
put it on the list again? You are in control of this stuff, Will.
I can't remember what we said last year, basically.
Look, well, the rules are the rules.
The rules are the well. It was on the list last year because it was I covered the preview last year.
Right.
Yeah, well, no,
and
I
officially released this year.
Yeah, officially.
Or no,
released
so you
this
covered
year.
it last year. That's right.
Yeah. So yeah, it's officially released this year. Look, it just is. Look, this is the most scientific way of deciding the best game of the year. We know this, yeah. The second, other than
after
Beatrice.
blueberries and dogs.
Yeah.
I mean that is pure science. Though it does seem like she was bribed this year because she went with Vantage, and Stegmeyer set it up to where anybody can put their animals into the game, and so she has 3 cards right now in that game, and so it's possible that she was bribed.
So which one of us chose Elder Scrolls this year? Was that me again?
That's you.
Oh, who chose? Oh, okay, fine, okay.
Yeah. So it's all right because Distilled made 2 years in a row, made an appearance
and didn't win.
Yeah, it got all the way to the end except for somebody wanting to show off their medal last year. Yeah. I don't know who that was.
I'm really excited for this bracket. Yeah, it's going to be great.
It's going to be great. All right, so we're going to jump in right at the top, which is going to put me against Mike, where I've picked Arydia, the Paths We Dare Tread, which I will point out, I believe was every year we all pick 6 just in case there's overlap, and I believe all 3 of us had it in our top 6, I think. So that should win is what I'm saying. Versus Two Towers Trick Taker from Mike. And we can just end it there. Mike, I'll let you go first in your losing battle here.
I mean, both games are great. I enjoyed Arydia quite a lot. Two Towers Trick Taking game is a game that I've enjoyed thoroughly with my gaming groups. I've enjoyed it with my kids. It's very accessible, very easy to teach. It is, in my opinion, and everyone I've played with's opinion, a straight-up upgrade to Fellowship of the Ring, the previous trick-taking game in this little series they're making. The scenarios are more varied. The characters are more interesting. There's fewer of the long scenarios where you got to play again and again and again, which can get a little bit dull. I'm a big trick-taking fan. Mark, I forget if you are, but I've
He's more of a trick-turning fan.
Sure. That's terrible. I've loved spades and hearts and all those kind of games since I was a kid. This one is awesome. It is now for me up there with The Crew, which is one of my favorite games of all time. And I mean, the big thing, Arydia is awesome. I know Will's going to extol many of its qualities, and I agree with them. The trick taking game is available for what, $20 to $30. Arydia is basically out of print at the moment. I know they're making more, and it's like $300. So I don't know. If you're a man of the people, Mark, and I know you are, you'll vote for the game that is actually like something people can buy and play, and is wonderfully accessible for all types of gamers, and not the giant overblown campaign game.
So first off, you're pitching affordability to the guy who has Elder Scrolls as his top choice. Just throwing that out there. But so I haven't played the Two Towers Trick Taker because I haven't finished the Fellowship Trick Taker, and I know the story, but nonetheless, I feel like I should do that. But the problem is, I can't get past like scenario 3 because every time I play, it's with someone who hasn't played before. So we constantly have to restart over and over and over again, which has nothing to do with anything except for the fact that like I don't even need two towers, and nobody needs two towers yet because they haven't finished the first one. They haven't even gotten to like scenario 4 of the first one because they have to keep restarting.
I mean, I've played through the first one multiple times.
Yeah, but you have multiple game groups, which I just want to point out that he threw that out there
It's
to
also
shame
solo.
us.
It's a great solo trick taker, which is very
Nah,
rare.
it's okay solo. The little pyramid thing, it's okay solo. But let's talk about what is brilliant all around. And that's pre-painted minis that you can change the heads. You can change the heads. Okay, I'm just gonna lead with with just the production of why this game deserves to be. So one, you can change the heads. The pre-painting looks pretty darn good, and it has an advent calendar of minis for you to open as you play through the game. And I know Mark loves advent calendars because he likes good things. He likes fun. He likes surprise. He likes mystery. He likes to not know what's coming, which at his age is most things, but he likes to be able to open something and say, wow, look how amazing this is. It's incredible. And that's what you get with Arydia. And it has the most unique combat system in any kind of dungeon crawl I have ever come across. And I've been talking about this for a while. It has this directional combat system where your weapons do certain patterns of striking on the monsters. And I've been looking and talking to people, and I have yet to find anybody say, oh, it's kind of like this. So totally original. And I'm going to leave it there because I got to hold a little ammo for next round. But I think that's enough because changing heads, pre-painted minis, advent calendar of amazing, and you don't have to keep playing the same thing over and over again as you have more friends. And Mark's not even about playing games with friends. He plays games by himself.
I do have some friends. Yeah.
I know you have some friends, but you don't need your friends. And you definitely don't have multiple groups.
I don't have multiple groups. No, I don't. No. Okay. Have you both finished? Have you both stated your case for the court?
Just to keep time moving, I will not retort. I'm fine with a single chance to speak for each of us.
I should put on my powdered wig and pass judgment then. So let's start with Two Towers trick-taking game. I've not played that. I have played the Fellowship trick-taking game. For a £20 box, utterly fantastic. The amount of gameplay that's in there, and
ironically, Arydia is also £20, just in a different way.
In weight, yeah. All right, so for a $20 box, then, the amount of gameplay that you get in there is fantastic. Surprisingly, I haven't played it solo. I played it 2 and 3 players, and we're about 3/4 of the way through the original. So I can only imagine that Two Towers is more of the same thing, more of this great value, great gameplay in a small box. Absolutely fantastic. Arydia, as you said, Bill, I love Arydia. I think it's great. It is a feat to behold. You can tell there's a lot of love went into Arydia, absolutely, and it does do some really nice things with that, with what it does there, and the interchangeable heads. Great little gimmick, but it makes perfect sense when you're playing the game. So, what are the downsides of both of them? Well, let's talk about Two Towers, then the trick-taking game. It is, I should imagine, more of the same than there was with the Fellowship of the Rings trick-taking game.
It does change. I mean, it's still a trick taker, and you still have like characters, but the core characters change, the mechanics changed. It's more varied than I thought it would be. I thought it'd be more the same. It's not quite that, but I mean, yes, it is.
It is a variation on a theme there.
Absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely.
And one of the things, as much as I love the Fellowship, it can be very swingy. You can play the same scenario 4 or 5 times, and all of a sudden, more down, yes, some look in how you're playing, but more down to how the cards have come out. That you've gone, yep, that's it. We've cracked that scenario. We've moved on. And that kind of, as much as I enjoy playing the game, it is a game that does have that going against it. But also as well, it's not a game you're going to play all night. You'll play a couple of scenarios, and then you put it away, and you get onto a bigger, better game. Arydia will, yeah. Now Arydia, as Mike said, is hugely expensive. It's very, very expensive and out of print as well at the same time. It's a huge investment. It's yet another campaign game that you've got to go into and spend 90 plus hours playing through. The advent calendar is great, but if you reset the box and start it again, then you know what's in there. That combat system that you mentioned, I think, is unique, but it's also very confusing when you first start playing as well at the same time, which really when I was first playing it, I was like, am I getting this? Am I getting this? I think it's great, Arydia. I want to get back to the table at some point, but I also want to play Two Towers. So comes down to judgment on this, yeah? And I think purely because of how unique it is, yeah, and just the fact that as much as I appreciate the Two Towers trick-taking game for all that great gameplay in a small box and what it delivers there, I haven't played it solo, so I couldn't say about it solo. I am going to go with Arydia for 2 reasons here. Will needs a win. Point 1, yeah, he's lost practically everything in life. Right, let's give him at least a little branch to hold on to here. And secondly, and as much as Two Towers has refreshed the trick-taking genre for multiple players, etc., and really links it nicely to the theme. It's a joy to play. I think Arydia does stand out as doing something really different with kind of the dungeon crawling experience and the storytelling campaign game experience. So, Will, yeah, you're off to a good start in 2026, mate. Yeah, I'm going to give it to you, and apologies to Mike, but it was a tough call between a massive game and a small game, but I'm going to go with Arydia.
As you should. This is how we fix the world, y'all. Things are starting out right.
Oh, well, by giving America everything, I think we know that's not working, right? Yeah.
Well, I think it's more, you know what? No, I'm not going to go into it. I'm not going to go into it. But let me tell you, I had a response that was even more tragic. And I will say, with the exception of 2, there's only 2 games on the entire list that I haven't played at all, or at least know about. Like I know what Two Towers is going to be. I like all the games on the list this year, which is a first. Usually I'm like, I actually don't like that game. We usually have something on there, so that's very exciting. Yep. There's 2 of them I haven't played, so maybe I wouldn't like them.
Yep.
Which brings us to the first Tournament of Previous Champions matchup of Mike with Core of Discovery and Mark with Speakeasy. So we have 2 games that are too smart for me. But you guys could choose who goes first.
Marbles is too smart for you. Tiddlywinks is too smart for you.
I think Mark wants to go first. Go ahead.
All right, so I will go first, and of course, my game is Speakeasy. I can't say anything detrimental about Core of Discovery because I have not played it, and I know nothing about it whatsoever, basically. So I'm just going to say that Mike has only chosen that because he was low on games to choose, basically, and that's the only reason he's chosen that. He looked through the kind of 2 games he reviewed this year. He'd covered them both on this, and he just thought, you know what? Yeah, normally this kind of stuff goes to Colin, but I'll just choose Core of Discovery because I've got to throw something in there. So Speakeasy, it's Lacerda's kind of latest, and for me, it's replaced Campanivi as my favorite Lacerda game. Now, admittedly, you have to be a Lacerda fan or a Euro fan to like it, and we all know Lacerdas are all about complex mechanisms that mesh together. Sometimes the theme works very well. Sometimes it's more abstract, as in, say, Weather Machine. Speakeasy is that beautiful marriage of theme and of mechanisms to really give you the feel that you're working in kind of in the Prohibition period Manhattan, and that you're setting up distilleries, that you're raiding rivals speakeasies, etc., and taking them over, that you're raiding ships. You've got so many paths to victory. It feels like when you first play the game that you're just going to distill and sell liquor. You can actually win the game by not distilling liquor whatsoever. You can go rob ships and go for a whole area control. I played this and I played Scarface 1920. Scarface 1920 goes on way too long, like way, way, way too long. And it just loses its spark. Whereas Speakeasy, from a solo perspective, once you know how to play it, you're going to play it in around about 90 minutes, less than 2 hours probably. Multiplayer obviously going to take a little bit longer, but you're really going to drive forward. It's got a wonderful solo bot as well that has minimal overhead. It's not a big, complex tech tree that you have to go through, some cards that you flip that kind of direct the AI in terms of what they're going to do, and there's challenge levels in there. It's a beautiful, massive return. I say return to form for Vital. I always think Vital's great, but it's a beautiful, massive return to form for Vital Lacerda with this. I think
I
the
thought you just said
best.
you weren't going to say it's a return to form for Vital Lacerda.
Well, I just did. I'm full of contradictions. With the best integration of theme into mechanisms from a Euro game that we've seen in a long time.
All right. Yeah. So this one is one of the only two that I have not played on the list. Not for one of trying. Mark even gave me an email, but I've heard no response, so I
Nothing
haven't
back.
had a chance. But I've heard it's wonderful. I've heard Speakeasy is great. But Core of Discovery is, if we're talking about unique games, kind of like Arydia was unique, I think Core of Discovery easily wins that. This is a solo co-op survival game with drastically different scenarios. It is a logic game, almost Minesweeper-esque, combined with sort of Robinson Crusoe Survivor, in that you have this board with these like little tokens covering up the spots on the map, and each turn you pull out a token adjacent to where you've already been, and you get the resource there, and you find out what's there. Enemies might attack you, things might come your way. It's based on a great graphic novel that I've read, so it's got a lot of really good inherent theme in it. It's got tons of variety between the scenarios. I know, for example, that Will, if I remember right, you like played totally different scenarios than I did, and just like very different things going on, very different objectives, different logic puzzles to the stuff. Plays great solo, plays great cooperative. Yeah, I mean, it is punishing, it is tough, although there are ways to make the game easier, so that's all lovely. But it's just a fantastic game. It's like Robinson Crusoe meets, Quest for Planet X or something like that. Just really cool stuff going on, and there is no game like it.
When you say no game like it, I just want to pick you up on one of the unique aspects you mentioned there. It's got a board with tokens, is what she said. I mean, that is like, that's phenomenal for a board game, quite frankly. I can't wait to see. Has it got, I don't know, dice as well, maybe? Have you thought about that?
Does Speakeasy involve you getting victory points through multiple aspects and seeing who has the most points at the end?
I never said it was unique. Yeah,
that's fair. All right, I guess that was one of your arguments. That's right. You did say return to form. So what you really said was exactly the same as every other Vital game.
That is interesting. Eagle Griffin Games put on the box exactly the same as every other Lacerda game.
Don't buy this if you own any other ones.
Yes. And on the Core of Discovery, it said comes with a board and tokens. Yeah.
These are really good pitches. On a side funny note, we are all familiar with the guys over at Dead Alive Games, and on their first not a failed, they canceled Kickstarter. They came back, did it again, but they decided they were like, well, let's not take a bunch of like the hyperbolic quotes everyone puts up. Like, let's try to get like the more honest quotes, and they just got ripped for it. Like they pulled a quote from like my video I was talking about something like, and this is really solid that they've done this, and they put, yeah, this is really solid. And people were like, oh, did you get the quote? It's a game. Did you get that one too? Just slammed it. Anyhow, I digress. I took notes because I'm serious this year.
Okay.
So, one thing that Mike pulled out, the uniqueness. I can't argue uniqueness in one game and then literally 2 seconds later discount it. Like Mark says, I'm not going to do a thing, and then 2 seconds later immediately does it in his return to form. So there is that. Though what I will say about it is, I have played it with people who really did not like it. Like I played it
Core
with
of Discovery here, I take it.
Yeah, Core of Discovery.
Yeah,
Core of Discovery. And like just really, really didn't like it. And I was shocked. I thought they were gonna love it. And I also had to point out that I'm really bad at it. In fact, the only reason it wasn't potentially in a game of the year for me, I couldn't be in this because I covered it last year. I previewed it, is because I'm just so bad at it. And I sit down to play and I know I'm going to lose. So there's that. But let's talk about Speakeasy. Mark, you hurt yourself horribly twice in this. You started
Well,
out right.
I did, obviously. I gave you the first win. I mean, that's my biggest mistake so far, obviously.
I mean, it's true. I mean, the real win is knowing you, Mark. That's the real win. The first thing you said is you have to be a Lacerda fan. You said that. You did. I wrote it down. It's on the tape. And I'm thinking, I was like, am I a Lacerda fan? I don't know that I'm a Lacerda fan. I respect Lacerda. I mean, he has a million things going on. They all always kind of they come together. But am I a fan? I don't know that I'm a fan. I've yet to play the one that I'm like, yes. Maybe Speakeasy will be the one. I think after that statement, they're not going to send me one. And the other thing you talked about was the area control. And area control is one of my least favorite genres. And so because of that,
Mm-hmm.
because of that,
I'm just gonna say,
oh
before you
yes,
make your decision, every year I put Lacerda game in there, and you always, year on year, knock my Lacerdas out.
Oh,
You,
wow, from the
yeah.
two-time winner in a row. Oh, no. He knocks out my Lacerda games.
so isn't that the
I'm just
definition
saying.
of insanity? Doing
I'm
the
just.
same thing?
I'm just saying. There's an obvious bias when it comes to Lacerdas with you. Yeah.
That's true. And I think, and I want to dig down into it because I backed Escape Plan
Yeah.
years ago because everyone's like, because it was pitched as his lightest game. I was like, okay. And that was like the heaviest damn game in my collection at the time. And I think Lacerda games, they are just a step heavier than my
You
brain
enjoy.
can manage.
Well, what about if I give you a $10?
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, I'll pass it.
That is a physical bill, Bill. How are you going to get that
That's a
exactly?
good point. I can't get it.
I'll
And what are
fax
you
it to
doing with
you.
American money over there?
I don't know. It was on my gaming table for some reason. Yeah.
Oh, that's probably the bribe I tried to send you last year that you're like, this is useless to me. But I'm gonna have to go with
Mm-hmm.
solely based on I actually really want to play Speakeasy. I keep hearing about it. But I'm gonna have to go with on the strength of you're a two-time winner. You're a two-timer. Mike is
Mm-hmm.
not a two-timer yet. So I'm going to advance Core of Discovery, knowing I'm going to knock myself out in the next round.
I'll just get my little black book here. Just bear with me a second.
Yep,
I'll make notes.
that's
Yeah,
not a
yeah.
book. Is that another like British thing that you?
Uh,
So
yeah.
Core of
I mean,
Discovery.
I cannot say that I'm shocked in any way, shape, or form. Yeah.
Maybe Speakeasy when I finally play it is going to be the one that's going to turn it around and make me a sort of fan, as opposed to he does really cool stuff
That
that I
you
just
can't
can't
play.
grok.
Yeah. I get
Uh,
it. I get it. It's okay. You can admit your inadequacies. It's fine, Will. We're all friends here.
That's true. So next up we have I'm sure I'm going to lose this because neither of you have played Mercurial Alchemia up against Nature, which I actually have not played. Both of you told me I need to play it, and I didn't
Mm-hmm.
because I listen. And so Mercurial Alchemia is set in the same world as this first game Mercurial they did, which was like a tableau builder, dice chucking, whatever game. It was kind of neat. But Mercurial Alchemia is a straight up worker placement game, asymmetric alchemist that you're bringing to that you're playing, and you are doing your best to make these potions and become the greatest alchemist in the town. Euro stuff. Get the most points. It's basically the starting game. And what you're going to do, though, which is really cool, is you have on your potion board, your player board, you have these 5 different tracks that go both sides. You start in the middle, and as you make these potions, it's going to increase the power of your big cauldron that you have. So you're bringing tracks all the way to the right and all the way to the left. And every potion you make, though, is going to move those tracks depending on what you put into the potions. So you're trying to get the biggest delta between these where you start and where you end. And that's going to get you points. It's going to get you powers. It's going to upgrade your shop. You get familiars. You get to get familiars that start in eggs and you hatch the eggs. They get to do all these kind of cool things. And it has modules on modules on modules that you can add. The solo game is super simple to play and it is stunningly beautiful. And it has a tower, like the Tower of London, Mark. It has a tower right
Mm.
there where you can send your foes to be executed.
Okay.
It's amazing.
It's got a tower. Thank you, Will, for that. Yep.
Yeah, that was a
But the
winning
British
argument.
people love towers. I mean, you got Big Ben. I know it's a clock, but
It's
basically
not
it's a
tower.
tower. You know, you got the Tower of London. I'm sure you got two or three more towers. I think I saw a tower when I was over there in Sheffield. We love them.
It's a water tower, but yeah.
Yeah.
All
So,
right.
wait, a
Well,
water what? Tower.
all right, enough about towers. So on the other
Oh,
side, we have
Mr. Two
nature.
Towers, the trick taker.
That's right. So nature, Mark, you've already played it. You've already enjoyed it. And hey, I feel like I don't have to say this much because how fun would it be for nature to be against Deckers in the very next round? Wouldn't that be fun? Nature, for those who don't know, is the new iteration of the old Evolution games from North Star. And Ricky Royal did a fabulous solo mode for that one. He designed Deckers. So Ricky Royal versus Ricky Royal. And hey, what country is Ricky Royal from?
He's my good friend, and he's from a little bit down south from where I live. Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
right.
Yep.
So
So
you
he's
might
he's
talk
in the
about the
tower.
yeah, so
Mhm.
you make the Tower of London references, Will, like these vague, like kind of offensive British stereotypes. I'm talking about actual
Oh, we
Brits
haven't even
that
started with
Mark
the
knows.
offensive British stereotypes.
I am the offensive British stereotype. Thank you very much. Yeah.
But yeah, Nature is a fabulous solo game. So much variety in the different modules and more to come. It's fun. It's quick. You can start very cheaply. This Mercurial game you're talking about, Will, this is not even out yet, right? You previewed it?
Preview.
Okay.
It's one of those very few games that I legitimately am sad when I have to send off the prototype. Like
So yeah, a
legitimate, I
game
was
that
upset
doesn't
about it.
exist yet, might never exist. How will
Oh,
things
that
even
now
go?
don't throw shade on this company. They got their last one out and they're very nice. I believe they're Australian. And you're gonna be mean to the Australians? Like I know
No,
Mark
I
has
don't want to
to
be mean to the
because
Australians, but I'd rather support a Brit than an Australian because that's like.
wow.
All right. Anyway,
Wow.
that's it. Go ahead, Mark.
That's it. Well, I mean, it is a pretty thin argument just to say, oh, a fellow Englishman designed the solo, so therefore you gotta accept this as this has got to be the winning
He's
game.
also playing on your friendship with Ricky Royal.
With Ricky, I agree, and we do have you mentioned Deckers, and there is another Ricky Royal solo that's coming up soon as well. Yeah, so the guy is featuring quite a lot in terms of where we are right now. Putting that to one side, yes, I have played Nature. I have played with the various modules. I have played it two player as well, and I agree, Mike. It's a fun, really good, and I'm not a deck building fan, but it's a good deck building evolution style game. I really enjoy all of the dynamism that's in there. I will say, I think what it has got going against it is the fact that the core box is just a base game. And then, unless you get the deluxe, everything else you have to buy as separate modules to go in there. I think it's a huge miss. I think if they just released the deluxe box as an all in, people would have the
I
access
mean,
to it.
but to be fair, it gives you a way to try the game for like $25. And
It's
if you
it
buy like the core game and two modules, it's still less expensive than Will's game.
I know all that, but what I think is that I think if you just get the base game and you play it a few times, you may get bored of it basically, and you may not then be inspired to buy others. So I think from a release perspective, I don't know. I sit on the fence with it because I think Nature is great. It deserves more recognition. The solo is really fun, really good, and Ricky has tailored it for each of the modules as well. It is fantastic, but that release how they decide to release it really just, I don't know, it gets me a little bit because I don't think if you're just getting the base game, you're getting the best out of it. Now, as for Mercurial, Will, while you was talking about this game that I've never heard of, right? I mean, obviously, I obviously watch all your videos all the time. Have you done a video on it yet?
Yeah, I actually did the how to play for them.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's the one I've watched, obviously. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That's okay.
Yeah. While you were talking about it, I must admit, I started kind of looking at my emails a little bit. It sounds like this one for the poster, a game and it's got magic in there, and you've got people swinging from left to right. I don't know. It's a game about swinging magicians. I don't know. You were talking about stuff, and I was already kind of lost in
This is
thinking.
more of a judgment on you as a listener than it is on the game.
Or you as an orator, or you as an orator, I think maybe. But what I'm saying is, it sounds great, and I'm glad you like it so much. I know nothing about it. I'm no further ahead from what you said. With that in mind, I'm going to choose Nature, despite my niggles with it.
It's just pure
Nature's
butt
going
hurt.
through.
That's all it is.
Prove me wrong.
Just I don't want to look at your butt and see if it's hurt. Pure butt hurt. And I knew, you know what? It's okay. I knew it was gonna go out, and I could have picked something that I thought could get further, but I put it in there because you know what? This game is great.
Well, I will say now that I've won, it looks really cool. And if you'll send me the deets for that publisher, I'd like to play this.
Wow. Mark, you
Hey.
wanted to?
Yep.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Yeah, I put it in here just because I wanted to talk about it again because the game
No,
is
I think it's good.
truly fantastic.
Yeah,
Just
I will
so,
check
so
it out.
good. So, so pretty. Yeah, I was really sad I had to send it on. And then I went with like, well, I mean, we could route a prototype back to us. No, don't do that. I don't actually like, I
Want it
really do
done.
want it, but also like, I don't want the box. I'll wait,
Wait for
but
the
I don't want
game.
to wait. You
Yeah.
know, really good stuff. All right. Sorry, Mercurial. We tried. What you're taking from this is just like historically, the British hate the Australians.
We don't. We sent our best people over there.
It was so sincerely delivered. I almost believed it. That was great.
And the best part about this whole thing is when they're like, "We're not Australian."
Yeah, that'd be great if it turns out the publisher is in like
New
South
Zealand.
Korea or something.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah, that'll be just the greatest thing in the world. All right, moving on. We have the final game of the first round. We have Old King's Crown versus Fate of the Fellowship, and I believe all of us have played this one. I believe.
I've played both of those.
I played both of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Mark, I'll let you go first as your.
Okay. There is nothing wrong with Old King's Crown or Pandemic 2.0 or Pandemic Rome 3.0 or
Wait,
Pandemic
are you?
Cthulhu.
Did you mean to say Fate of the Fellowship there?
Oh God, yeah. Let me start that again.
Like, yeah, go ahead and criticize your own.
Are we watching Mark have a stroke? Like, is that what's going on here?
I was like, wait, Old King's Crown is Pandemic 2.0? That's wild.
Snip that, Will. Okay.
We'll let his argument stand there.
There is nothing wrong with Fate of the Fellowship or Pandemic 2.0 or Pandemic Fall of Rome or Pandemic Cthulhu or whatever variant of Pandemic it is. You know, it is an absolutely fine game. I was actually taught the game at UK Games Expo by the developer who we bought it, and he came along to our table and said, "Do you want me to teach you the game?" Kevin Shillinghouse or something like that. Absolutely, it's a great game. It's a really fun way, and I've rarely played Pandemic, but it does play very well, and it takes pandemic mechanisms and puts them into the kind of the into Lord of the Rings world. It's fine. It's absolutely fine for a game that's a rehash of many other games and many other genres. However, when it comes to something truly, truly unique, you have the labor of love that is the Old King's Crown. Now, what you got here is a game that has spent a long time in development, and you can tell it spent a long time in development. I was speaking to the publishers for two and a half years before it came out. I introduced them to Ricky Royal, who they then took on board to do the solo mode for it. It's Pablo Clark and Andrew McKelvey, I think he's called, are the designers of the game. It's got possibly the best artwork in a game of the year, if not for a long time. Also, that artwork was done by Pablo Clark, who's the game's designer, and that is amazing how it is. They had Leader Games come in, and while Leader Games didn't develop the game, they helped them fine tune and really listen to feedback about the game. It launched earlier this year. It's a wonderful game for 1 to 4 players, and it's surprising how much tension you get out of this small board, and how much you have to lean into those asymmetric faction powers to make the most of it. It's got blind bidding in there, and blind bidding works massively well with the solo, with the simulacrum. When it comes to the solo, Ricky has just pulled something out of left field here, something that potentially hasn't been done before, brought it to the game, provided you with different ways to alter the simulacrum, the AI, so that you can make it more difficult or easier for yourself. And you don't necessarily lose massive amounts of that tension that you get from playing with another person. It will also drop into a 2-player or a 3-player game as well to add additional on there. And it's just, I think, for a first game, for a first publisher, it's possibly, it's really up there in potentially, with one of the best games, first games that any designer or publisher could do. It's utterly fantastic.
Well, let me start out and just point out, Mark doesn't even know the name of the game or what it's like first. So that's the first problem.
You were cutting that bit.
I want to start out. I'm going to knock on something that I know is important to you, Mike. Price. Fate of the Fellowship is far more affordable. Very affordable.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't think there's much difference.
It's like
giant tower.
It's like $70. Old King's Crown is way more than that.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like
keep talking. I'll look.
It's like 100 plus, and you can't even get it right now.
It's $54.99.
What? It is not.
I've got it on my phone here. It says 54.99.
Yeah, but that's not. You got to get the expansion, and you
No,
got to
you
get the
don't.
deluxe. Yeah,
No, you
you do.
don't.
Yeah.
You do not. I've not got any of that. I've got the base game only.
What is the cost with the expansion? What is the cost with the deluxe?
I've no idea because they were
Way
Kickstarter
more
exclusives.
because you have to have the complete game. Fate of the Fellowship, it's already in the box. You have the beautiful screen printed meeples. You have the beautiful little tokens. You have the flying Nazgul. You have beautiful art, which is a great throwback to
Don't compare
the
the art.
it's a great throwback to the Lord of the Rings animated series from the late 70s, 80s, whenever that was exactly. Beautiful. I'm going to finish off talking about Old King's Crown real quick. One, it's not about Ricky Royal. Ricky Royal is not who we are passing forward here. You have this whole big love fest that you have with Ricky Royal in your argument. Also, I like this game. It plays crap at two.
No,
It
that's where you have the
plays
simulacrum.
garbage at two. Playing solo is fun. Crap at two, but the problem with the solo is it doesn't take into account the expansion stuff at all.
I don't know. I don't have the expansion.
Well, that's on you.
Yeah.
I do. And it doesn't take into account the expansion stuff. It doesn't mention it, doesn't talk about it.
Yeah.
So you just kind of make it up as you go, which is a big miss.
Mm. So I just want to make sure, Will, you want to make your argument for the
Well, I'm not
very
done with
large,
my argument. I was just
the
poking
very,
holes in your argument.
as opposed to the small independent labor of love. You want to make the argument for the large IP by a large publishing concern by like Z-Man Games, yeah,
That has
and lie about the price.
that has zero to do with the quality of the game. Just
No,
be-
the game is better for the labor of love. Yeah, the old King's
so you're
Crown.
saying Matt Leacock doesn't put love into his games? Is that what we're hearing right now?
You
Is that what
tell
you're
me.
saying?
That's you put those. You
Mark
said
Dainty
that,
hates Matt Leacock. There, you heard it
you put
here.
those
You heard it here,
words.
everybody. But let's get back to how good
Will hates
Fate of the
independent
Fellowship
publishers.
is.
Yeah.
Let's get back to that. So Mark is complaining about that it is taking inspiration from previous work, which is true. But what it has done is it's taken inspiration from the fall of Rome. It took the best part of that, made it better, made it more interesting, and then took this amazing IP, put it into the box with this again one box. You don't need to chase down an expansion, don't need to chase down anything. You have all this variety that you get, put in the different characters, and it actually made me care more about some of the characters when I played it. Because you know what? Poor Faramir, right? He gets the short shift. Even as someone who loves the underdog, I'm like, yeah, whatever, Faramir, no one cares. Until I played with him and I tried to do his quest, and I was like, Faramir's the greatest. It made me love him even more, and that's what this game does. You know what Old King's Crown made me do? It made me wish that I had more than two players. That's it.
Oh, I mean, I just want to pick you up on one word. You said inspiration from other games. Not inspiration. It just ripped the mechanism straight out of them. That's not inspiration.
Look, you can't talk about the development of bringing in leader games to help develop the one and then crap on the development of the guy's own mechanic.
Yes, I can, and I did.
All right.
How very American of you.
Fate of the Fellowship. Yeah, the best I could find, Will, is Fate of the Fellowship is like averaging around $80. It's kind of hard to tell what Old King's Crown will be because the second printing hasn't like started yet, so we don't know what the new price might be. It might go up.
Might?
But Will, this is kind of unfair for you. I literally played Old King's Crown 2-player last night and had a blast with it and did not have any trouble with it being a 2-player game. I'm not even quite sure what you're talking about with it not being good 2-player. Yeah, it was a extremely tense knife fight. I beat Peter in his first game ever by a single point.
It's just because you won the game. That's all.
You're arguing with the judge.
Well, he's about to vote against me, so of course I am.
I'm about to vote. Yeah, so it's Old King's Crown. I like Mark, think it's amazing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm very excited to see with the second printing this new expansion. And by the way, Will is right, Mark, that currently the expansion, which they didn't send me either, doesn't work for the solo. But they have said in a few places that they're going to try to make it and this new song expansion work with the solo with the new stuff.
Yep.
So
cool.
I will say, so I backed the game, which is how I have the expansion. The expansion is fantastic. Like, I'm almost tempted to like scan the cards and send them to you so you can try it. Like, it's They're so good. I'm kidding, old King Trout people. I won't do that, but it's really, really good, and I think it's actually a very good solo game.
I think there's a it's out of print for they got challenged on something, but I think it's something to do with the title or something like that. So they had to then stop producing the expansion. So it will come back in another form. Yeah.
It's a good game. And I've heard that you can actually do it cooperative against the AI. I haven't
Yes, you
tried that.
can.
I really want to try that.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't tried that yet. After we played, I was like, Peter, we could have played this cooperative. He's like, well, why did we do that? I was like, I didn't think you'd want to deal with the bot until you'd learn the game first. But yes, very excited to try it.
Yep.
All right. Well, after that disappointment, we'll go up to let's see. We just had an argument together, so here we go. Deckers versus Nature.
Wow.
Two games apparently designed, illustrated, conceived of by Ricky Royal, I think. Is that what's going on here?
Not quite.
That I know nothing about.
Do you want to go first, Mike, with Nature?
Sure. Yeah. So, you heard about Nature.
Yeah, it's outside. I've seen it.
Yes. Well, Mark is correct. The release way they did it is trying to make the game very cheap and accessible to people who want to try out the system, and then you can play more, but it might push some people away. But besides that, it's a fabulous game. It's really fun, easy to get, very crunchy, especially when you add in a bunch of models at once, but also very accessible and easy to play. Whereas Deckers, you might not know this, Will, but Deckers is secretly just an older game with a new little slapdash of paint on it, like a little bit of rebalancing. I mean, actually, it's really well done, and Ricky did an awesome job improving it. But it's big. They just took Renegade, and they thought nobody would notice, and they put the name Deckers on it. Okay, new publisher, just stealing out from under. Poor publisher of Renegade. How sad for them. And it's nobody will notice if we call it Deckers and change up some of the iconography and stuff. I noticed, and I think
it's a good thing Mark would never use that as a reason not to like a game. It's a good thing.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah. And he's going to turn around and say, no. It's an update and it's a new printing and everything is on the level. And that might be true, but we can pretend it's not true. and Fate of the Fellowship, he just attacked you for it being the same game again. And this is literally the same game. Fate of the Fellowship, it added a lot of stuff. They're just repackaging this thing. It's pretty bad.
Well, Mike is not incorrect there. Deckers is, in fact, shock horror, just a rehash of a previous game. And that previous game was indeed Renegade, and it was eventually dropped by the publisher because, whatever. So, but there is a fantastic game in Deckers. So it is, imagine Mage Knight on a computer network. And that's effectively what it is. It's hand management, Mage Knight style gameplay with your cards that you're cycling through your deck, trying to play the best cards, work through this network, fight against the system, and ultimately defeat multiple scenarios. It is an absolute joy to play. Now, I had Renegade and I loved Renegade, but the rule book with Renegade from the previous publisher was just full of gobbledygook, basically. It was just full of flavored text that made it feel a lot harder to play. And then the previous publisher kind of eventually allowed the IP to go because it's obviously, Mike said, designed by Ricky Royal. He designed the game, created the game, wrote the theme tune, sang the theme tune, etc. And it got picked up by, is it Deep Print who've got it now? Complete rehash of it, restructured the rule book to make it far more accessible, balanced the game a lot more, gave it new artwork, and it's affordable. It's about, I think, about $40. Is it $30, something like that for Deckers? Yeah. And it is an absolute tour de force, a game that deserves to be far better, far more recognized than it is. In fact, when I did my top 10 solo games of the year, because I'd only played it once, I couldn't put it on there. I mentioned it, and so many people came back and said, well, what about Deckers? What about Deckers? First of all, thanks for watching the entire video where I said I can't put it on because I've only played it once since I got it. But secondly, I agree. It's going to be in many people's kind of top 10. Now, when it comes to Nature, right, it's Nature. I've said all there is to say about Nature. It's a fine game. I think the best aspect is the solo design, and that's by the designer of Deckers. Nature is fine, but I do think that Deckers, for giving it a second lease of life, should absolutely get the recognition it deserves. So, I think you can only go one way on this, and that's called stab the Brit in the back. Yeah.
I'm starting to feel like I don't know anybody but Ricky Royal, who I've never met. I hope he's nice. So, one quick question about Deckers. Is it as complicated as Mage Knight?
No, no, nowhere
I would
near as
say
complicated.
no as well. I would agree.
No.
Okay. All right. Because that does matter to me. But so really, what this has come down to here is what, well, and before that, so Mark, you called this a tour de force, and
Yes.
yet it wasn't even originally in your top four for this. This was a replacement. You thought better of a different thing, and then you pulled Deckers in.
Yeah, and there's reasons for that, and one of them is, as I say, yeah, it deserves more mention. Yeah,
Okay, so you realized in your own brain said, "Wait, Mark, what about Deckers?" And you're like, "You know what? You're right, brain."
yeah,
Okay, all right, I can see that
yeah,
happening.
yeah.
But so what we really have here is we have a matchup of hypocrisy because we have Dainty here, who has drugged me over the coals for Fate of the Fellowship being a reimplementation. And this is not even a reimplementation. This is just the same damn game with a different skin. At least
Brought
Fate
to
of
a
the
wider
Fellowship had
audience.
other stuff. And at the same time, Mr. Kelly voted against Fate of the Fellowship only to bring that argument back. So this hurts me so very much that I think solely based on he's now my new best friend,
You've never
Deckers,
met him.
because Ricky Royale's the only person I know.
By the way, in fairness, nature is in many ways a reimplementation of evolution and oceans and all those games. It's way
Yeah.
better, but it's
Now,
also
had you said it was an evolution of evolution, you probably would have won.
it is an evolution of evolution.
Well,
Too late.
it's too late now. Like I wrote it down in pencil. It can't be changed. All right. So, nope, that'd be between you guys again. Okay, here we go. We have Core of Discovery versus Uprising Curse of the Last Emperor. And I was just talking, so and as Mark said, he knows nothing about this game, and he still doesn't know anything about this game other than it has tokens. So I'll let you hit him with Core of Discovery again.
Well, yeah, I mean, Uprising's a fantastic game. It's from a few years back now, although they did crowdfund the true solo mode. It's really good. Big 4X solo cooperative game. But Core Discovery is also great. I really like Uprising. I don't know. I'm not feeling as strong in this one. I mean, I will say Uprising is very big. The new true solo mode is good, and that's coming. But if you try to play the game currently, you have to control at least two factions, and it's long. If you play the regular game length, you're looking at like 3 hours potentially of playing. It can be swingy. It's got a dice-based combat where you can just literally hit not at all and be wiped off the map. There is basically player elimination. Like, yes, you can technically come back, Mark, and like scrabble your way into obscurity, but no, like I've never won a game where somebody got eliminated. It's a very harsh game. You need to play it several times to really be good enough to do well with it. And again, those several times might add up to 10 to 15 hours of your life to even feel like you're doing the game well. So I love Uprising, but Core of Discovery, they got a nice tutorial mission in there. Beautiful art from the graphic novel. You know, who doesn't love Minesweeper? It's kind of like Minesweeper. Like, just sit down, play a little game of Minesweeper. Play 15 hours, maybe 100 hours of Uprising just to feel like you know the rules, or play a little Minesweeper. It's a lovely time.
I
There
love
you go.
how you're just 15 or 100, like they're somewhat comparable.
Yes, it's just somewhere in there, is the
Yep.
range that you
And
might have to play.
so your pitch is Minesweeper.
My pitch is the joy of Minesweeper. Mark, have
Okay.
you played Minesweeper?
Back in the 80s, yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't it be great to play it
1780s
again?
probably. All right. So the rule of this tournament is something you covered this year. And you know what I covered this year for Uprising? The solo mode. That's what I covered, and that's what I'm talking about. And the reason why Uprising is so amazing, because Mike is right. It is a long game. It's a big game. It can be a lot to control two factions, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the solo mode, which takes a 3 hour game whoosh, down to an hour. even faster. I played the last couple games I played, I got through in like 35 minutes. It gave total new life to the game. The solo's easy, it's fast, it's challenging, and it lets you play through the what used to be the long game, which there's different chapters that you play through. And usually when I play with multiple people, we play 2 chapters and we play for 3 hours, we're done. 4 full chapters, any faction I want, under an hour. It's got these beautiful acrylic standees. It has this beautiful playmat, great art, all kinds of things that you're able to do. And it even now is coming with a big box to organize it. Everything you can want in a game. And Mark, if you have not played this with the true solo, you just go throw all your money at it right now because you are going to love it. When it shows up next year, I will almost guarantee it'll be on your top 10 solo game of the year.
Wow. Two really, really, well, two arguments there for both games. So not necessarily strong.
Minesweeper.
Well,
Minesweeper.
Let's just start with you, Phil. First, Will.
Yeah, the stroke continues.
If
your name is Phil now, Will.
Yeah, and my best friend is Ricky Royal. You guys are both Ricky Royal now.
Guys, I'm now officially closer to 60 than 50, right? So, you have to give the odd slip up, yes? So, let's start with you, Will. I loved your comment at the end. If you've not played this, then you need to throw all your money at it. I think that is, it's telling on two things. First of all, that means it's going to cost a lot to play it. Secondly, you obviously didn't notice my video on the solo mode as well that I published for the Kickstarter. So yes, I played it, Will. Thanks for taking note of my channel. Love the dedication that you put here.
Had you watched my video on Mercurial, sir?
I never said this was reciprocal. Who told you this was a fair world?
Yeah? I have not claimed to watch anybody's videos, even my own. I don't know what's on my own channel.
But Mike famously, he just said, "Oh, guys, I have so many subscribers, I can't watch anybody else's videos." Are you making me
Trump? Please don't do that.
All right, and as to Mike, you've really sold Core of Discovery to me. It's a board. It's got a board game. It's got a board. It's got tokens, and it's a bit like Minesweeper. I think if they are not poster-worthy comments, I do not know what it is. Look, I think
Cormier, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry that Mike was your champion. Whether he moves on or not, you have not a single soundbite you can use.
For a game I've never played, I must admit, you two have done an absolutely well, you've done a hatchet job on selling it to me, to say the truth, to Core Discovery. I'm sure it's a fantastic game, even with its board and its tokens and its Minesweeper-esque ethics. But I will say, obviously, I played a ton of Uprising, Curse of the Last Emperor. I have played a ton of the solo mode that he sent through for the preview as well, Will. I think it is a massively underrated game. Does have its issues. It's a big table hog. Takes a lot of time to set up. Even I'm sure the big box it'll still take a lot of time to set up. And as Mike said, there are rules, and then there are rules, and then there are rules, and there's so many rules in that stops its accessibility. So for that reason, I am going to go with the game that is Uprising: Curse of the Last Emperor. I think Core of Discovery's had a good run. I still don't know what it is right now, no matter what you guys have said about it. So I'm going to have to go with Uprising: Curse of the Last Emperor.
Do you like Sudoku, Mark?
Not particularly, no.
And you don't love Minesweeper either?
Not particularly, no.
Okay, then I'm not going to tell you to chase down a Core Discovery.
Okay, fine. Okay.
Yeah, you should still give it a try or watch my video on it. It is better.
I always watch Mike's videos, obviously.
I know, we all do. I watch both your videos. It's my Core Discovery is actually my favorite game of the year that I am terrible at.
Right. Okay. I will track it down at some point, definitely. Yeah.
It's worth it. All right, so jumping back down, so Mark gets a good argument. We'll take Mike's number one, Unstoppable, which I know nothing about.
Can I be a judge for a second? Can we do Elder Scrolls and Arydia?
I'm sorry.
I've 2 or 3 times in a row.
Well, just I'm old. I don't know what to tell you. Dainty's rubbing off on me. My mind's slipping.
Careful what you say there. That just sounds rude.
All right, so we got Elder Scrolls versus Arydia. So we've heard a little about Arydia. We haven't heard about Elder Scrolls this year. No. Go ahead, Mark.
I mean, what more is there to say about Elder Scrolls? Because it is an absolutely amazing experience. Yes, Arydia is fine for what it does in terms of, hey, we've got little plastic people. You want more plastic? We're going to throw these little miniatures at you. You want more miniatures? We got them. You want stuff stuck in a box that hidden away behind an advent calendar that you probably won't get to because you're never going to play a 90-hour campaign, quite frankly. So you're playing for more plastic that you're never, ever going to see or use. Then choose Arydia. Fantastic. However, do you want a campaign that effectively you can play in about 12, 15 hours with some characters and then go back and play a completely different campaign with completely different characters and replay to your heart's content? Tell those stories. Do you want the excitement of kind of taking an orc maybe and making it an acrobat, magician, two-handed sword wielding thing, stuff that you've never done before? Because most RPG characters are going to give you an elf with a bow like they do in Arydia, but no, you can do whatever you want in terms of character shaping in Elder Scrolls. You're eminently replayable, absolutely fantastic dice mitigation, wonderful story system. I know Arydia's got a good story system. I'm not denying that. I think it's got a good story system. It's not that much of a pain to table, not that much of a pain to put away, and you can replay and replay Elder Scrolls as many times as you want. You will have a different journey and just as rewarding a journey every time you play it. It's a modern masterpiece.
So, one of the things you said, do you really want more plastic like Arydia? The cards are plastic.
I said miniatures. I said miniatures. Yeah,
we'll check the tape. We won't check the tape. That's allowed. So, that was a lovely argument you made for Elder Scrolls, which is a very good game, which we know because we heard the exact same argument last year. We've already heard this argument. It's ridiculous. You're just throwing it out again. And really, it came down to your pitch was you can play a different character. That was the extent of your pitch. You can play a different
adventure. A different adventure.
With it could be the orc who's a magician and whatever. Yeah. You can pick any of the different characters in Arydia and make them any of the different classes.
Tell me about your elf. How many bows has your elf got in Arydia?
I'm not playing an elf. I'm playing a giant cat. Is what I'm playing.
Well,
I'm playing a giant cat that has a razor whip right now. Like that's what I'm playing because that is very straight out of Tolkien, the giant cat with a razor whip.
Yep.
Yeah, that is very true. Mike has already won last year. Like, come on. Arydia is fantastic. It is unique. It's not an evolution of another game like Elder Scrolls is an evolution of Too Many Bones. So I know Mike is on a little bit of a schedule, so I'm going to leave it there. But everything Mark says is nonsense.
I think you're amazing, Will.
Yeah, that is nice. So yeah, I've got a few things going on here. I do like Elder Scrolls way more than Arydia. I think for me, Elder Scrolls is the better game than Arydia. But I also think Elder Scrolls won last year. And I think Will's never wanted to be kind of fun to have him going against himself. I don't really know how that'll work if it's Uprising versus Arydia. So I'm going to pick Arydia for, kind of arbitrary reasons. There you go, Will.
This is good, Will. You're getting through on the pity vote this year. It's fantastic. Yes.
I got through on pity vote last year when I was about to be eliminated completely and I still lost. So I don't know why.
That's right. I forgot about that. This is not so much pity. I mean, Arydia is a great game. And I do think in some ways it could be more exciting than Elder Scrolls because it has like the exploration and story element. Elder Scrolls technically has exploration and story if you squint and hit yourself in the head a few times, but it's really about the cool combat and the cool character builds.
It is.
Yeah. I should have brought it. I will say that the exploration of those Arydia little map things that is definitely a bit more interesting. But Elder Scrolls is great. I didn't get to check out the new expansion, so I don't know anything about how that is, but it is a very
lots
good
of cool
game.
New skills. That's most of it.
All right, so now back down to Unstoppable, Mike's number one game of the year. I think it was actually your number one of the year, wasn't it?
It was.
His number one of the year, which is a John D. Clare clear card game. That's all I got. And Old King's Crown, which is Ricky Royal the game. I think I have this right.
On it.
So it's John D. Clare versus my new best friend Ricky Royal.
All right, I'll go first. Have you played Unstoppable yet?
No.
Oh shoot. Okay. Well, yeah. So it is my number one game of the year. It's fabulous. I think in our podcast that is posting today, actually, it's Peter's number 2 or number 3 of the year. Um, yeah, so it is John DeClaire. It's a 1 to 2 player kind of tactical card game. It's got some DNA with Warp's Edge in that you are defeating enemies and getting bonuses from defeating the enemies. It's got amazing kind of tactical chaining of card combos and playing cards that do other things. The 2 player play works really well where you're backing each other up and helping to defeat each other's enemies. But the core kind of mechanic here, the unique thing, and it is great. It's I've not liked John DeClaire games that much. I'll be totally honest. Like Mystic Vale, some of the other ones has never worked that great for me.
Put
I
that on
was
the
not.
box.
What do you say?
I should put that on the box.
Yeah, I know. And I was never a huge fan of the card crafting, I think is what his like whole thing is called, where you're putting like plastic sleeves in. Man, it's awesome here because each of the cards that you get, because you are adding cards to your deck, has an enemy on one side and the good card on the other. And you can upgrade your cards, but it also upgrades the enemy side. So you have to like really be careful about how you're comboing things together. And then to get those cards to draw them, you don't have automatic card draw. When those enemies come out, if you can defeat them, you get the cards. So it is such a kind of knife's edge of incredibly tense tactical play. They've got 3 different bosses that are quite a bit different. One of them is even like a choose your own adventure storyline with this great card play. The coolest card combos in any game I've played this year, or last year, I guess. Yeah, this one's just fantastic. Pretty much everyone I've recommended it to on our Discord that's gotten it, it's become one of their favorite games too. It's an unsung hero, and hey, it's going to be even better next year because they're coming out with or this year, they're coming out with a Dungeon Crawler Carl, which is apparently a great book series, coming out with a release that is in that theme, but still compatible with Unstoppable. So yeah, there's a reason it's my number 1. It's great. I'm sure you would both love it too if you ever get a chance to play it.
Yeah. So it's a deck builder, right?
Yes, it is a deck builder and deck crafter at the same time.
It's a solo deck builder. Sorry, I just that. Right, okay, yeah. It's
no. Was that part of your argument? Was that you're just almost 60 and it's after 3 p.m.?
It's after 3 p.m. here. No, okay. No, it's just another solo deck builder that is hard to find. It's literally out of print in the UK. I don't think so. I don't think I've got a chance of picking a copy up anytime soon. And it's great that the designer, after multiple attempts, finally kind of hits the nail on the head and gets his system right for Mike's game. But it is, it's a deck builder. We've seen a million deck builders. There'll be another deck builder comes along next year that everybody claims is the best deck builder ever, and it's going to be fantastic. And then another one will come out the year after. That's not the case with the Old King's Crown. It takes so many unique mechanisms, puts them together into a unique package that absolutely works for multiplayer and for solo. I get it. This is Mike's favorite game of the year, Unstoppable. He's pulling on the emotional kind of threads as well. Will he knows that you and I are both massive Dungeon Crawler Carl fans, and therefore, a Dungeon Crawler Carl game, it's got to be a hit. It's got to move forward with that. But you know what's going to happen next year, don't you? The Dungeon Crawler Carl version of Unstoppable is going to be on this list as Mike's best game of the year, yeah. And what you're going to do is following Elder Scrolls, you're going to do Unstoppable this year and Dungeon Crawler Carl Unstoppable next year, and therefore you're just going to set a precedence moving forward. There will not be. There we go. That's it.
Wow, wow. That was more passion than I think anybody in your family's seen out of you in years, and so you bring up a good point. I am worried about what might happen with the Dungeon Crawler Carl one. Like, very worried.
Yep.
And I was all set to just say Old King's Crown right through because I'm upset, actually, that they're potentially going to ruin one of my favorite book series.
Yep.
But Mike said something that really got me thinking because, like Mike, I've never been... None of the John DeClaire games has ever hit it out of the park for me. All of them I've been like, okay, that was fine, with the exception of Mystic Vale, which I actively did not like. Really didn't like Mystic Vale.
I didn't either.
I've loved the idea of card crafting. I think it's cool, and the cards, and it's pretty. And in fact, I finally played one this past year that I really thought the card crafting was so cool and so original, and that was Ham Helsing, which is not by John DeClaire, but they crush the card crafting.
Yeah, I like how I finally played that one. I like how they did it in there too, with like not covering icons. It's fun.
Yeah, and just you get to use them right away. So very, very cool, which is not this game. But the fact that Mike said he's never really liked any of his games until this one, that actually gave me a little bit of confidence. Makes me kind of want to try to chase one down. It sounds like I won't be able to. So maybe it's solo only, you said, right?
No, it's 1 to 2 player co-op.
One to
So
two players.
yeah, I play it with my kids and Peter and that kind of thing.
Gotcha. But there is one more thing that I have to think about. Because now we're just talking solo. And I really do like Old King's Crown solo. I think it plays great solo. So the question is, do I want Ricky Royal to be up against Ricky Royal in the next round?
We already
Can
had Ricky
Ricky
Royal
Royal
against Ricky Royal.
handle having to hate himself? And I don't know Ricky Royal. I
Thought he was your
assume
best
he's
friend.
mentally strong, but what if he's not? What if this sends him to the asylum? I cannot be responsible for that, nor can I eliminate Mike completely from the tournament.
We could.
I could. If he was the two-time winner, I absolutely would. But he is not. So therefore, on the strength of honest judgment of I've never liked any of the games a lot either, and this one could be the one, and I can't send Ricky Royal to the asylum. Unstoppable moves on. And
Okay.
it's been written down, so it has to happen. And so now we're at the point where I have to face myself.
Yeah, let's go.
So which one of you wants to be the judge on this?
I'll let Mike do that. Yeah,
Okay,
I've
so
done a lot of talking just now, so I'll let
all right, so
Mike do it.
Mark,
Yeah. Yeah.
this actually has happened before in the past. Mark, you have to pick one of the two and fight for the other side.
Okay. Which one? Which ones are they?
You're
Arydia and
Arydia or
Uprising.
Uprising.
Oh, I'll fight for Uprising then, shall I? Yep.
All right,
Okay.
take it away, Uprising.
Okay, so the first thing about Uprising that is not like Arydia is Uprising again. It's from a young studio. You know, this is I think Uprising was their first or second game, and what a game it was when it came out. Yeah, everybody on this screen right now loved Uprising when the first release came out, and then they listened to all of that feedback and said, "Hey, how can we make this game even better? To get to the table, how can we tighten up those rules? How can we make that solo a more rewarding experience for people who just want to do solo?" And they've come back out now with a hugely successful second crowdfunding of it, where they're reissuing it all to everybody. And here's more stories for you. So they're taking this diamond and they're polishing it, and they're bringing it back out for people to get at an affordable price. You know, you could just get the base game of Arydia, and it's still keep doing this base game of Uprising, and it's still massively, massively affordable. Arydia, I'm sorry, you're going to have to sell a kidney to get Arydia at any point, be that on the crowdfunding or on the second-hand market. Quite frankly, you know, half your house is gone and half the space in your house is gone for Arydia to set it up, as well as all of your free time. Because to get your money, to get your £5 million worth of investment back from it, all you've got to do is play Arydia 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Otherwise, everything's just locked away. With Uprising, you see everything, you know what you paid for right there and then.
That sounds like a great 7 days a week. I mean, real good. Now, you talk about space. Like, now, come on now. Uprising I have an entire shelf full of Uprising right over there. It takes up probably square inches the same amount of space as Arydia.
But what have they done for it? They've condensed it all down into the new storage that they're allowing people to get. Yeah.
Which is still massive. It's still going to take up a whole cube on your shelf either way. So there's that. Now, Mike knows. Mike knows that I don't even care because they're both mine, so it doesn't really matter. But Arydia is great. I love it. It's got changeable heads. You can rip off the guy's head and put another head in there. You can't do that with Uprising. They're flat acrylic standees. Flat, beautiful acrylic standees with beautiful dice that you're gonna chuck. They even have shiny bits in the dice and beautiful mats and beautiful production. And am I talking about Arydia or am I talking about Uprising? Nobody knows because they're both great. I'm winning no matter what. Mike, make your judgment.
Yeah, I mean, these are both, I would say kind of smaller studios. Uprising is, I think, their first game, and Arydia did, of course, have the huge success of Zaya, but I don't think they came up with anything else since then, at least not that I know of.
No, they take
They're
a
both.
very long time on their
Oh
games.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, both these games have had a ton of time put in. They're very responsive. They're very thoughtful. Just something I'll mention for Arydia, they have some of the best. Not in the removable heads, but in the here's an FAQ card for every class, so you know
Mm.
what the heck your
Yeah,
abilities
yeah,
are. Like, what a genius thing!
yeah.
Uprising is amazing. They've been responsive. They've been quick. I mean, I'll play Uprising more than Arydia because once I beat Arydia, I don't really have any desire to play it. Like, you kind of see what's there, but there is a ton of stuff to explore. Will wins either way. I don't know, man. I guess I'll do Uprising.
Cool.
He just wanted me to have a symbolic loss.
That's not why. It doesn't matter. All right. So I'll start out with Unstoppable versus Deckers, if that's okay, Master
Yeah.
Will.
And it's made these are like the only two games that I knew nothing about on
So
the
Will,
list.
here's a big argument I want to make. There has been hypocrisy of the highest order for just multiple rounds. Think back on the tape. What did Mark say just a moment ago? Oh, Unstoppable, another solo co-op deck builder. Mark, what, pray tell, is Deckers?
It's not just
No, no,
another
no, no, that's not
solo
what I asked her.
co-op.
Can you answer the question? What is Deckers a deck builder? Yes or no?
Well, it's got a
Is
board
Deckers a deck builder? Yes or no?
it's got a board and it's got tokens. So
Okay, well, Unstoppable has card crafting, has enemies, has combat,
yes, it's
has
a deck
tokens.
builder. Yes.
Okay, great. So yeah, so
Yes.
Mark is just like going around like throwing stones at glass games in the cruelest, most ignorant way possible. It's really insulting. I think you should feel insulted, Will, personally. But yeah, Unstoppable. I will say this: both games are fantastic. Both have amazing tactical play. Both have great card combos, really interesting deck building and deck crafting in the case of Unstoppable. But one of them is a game that's been out for years and has got a new name and some updates. One of them is entirely new. It is the best John D. Clare game, the game he's ever made. Head and shoulders for me above any of the other ones because I love this one and didn't love any of the others. Yeah, and if you liked Ham Helsing, I think you're gonna like this one too. It has some of that just awesome, like combo-tastic fun of the card crafting. You gotta pick Unstoppable.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think you said there that it's the best John D. Clare game. I believe this is the only game that Ricky Royal has developed for himself and published, and therefore this is also
I think if you rewind back to what Will said, Ricky Royal has designed all games. So
Yes, he's also our only friend. Like,
so yeah, this is actually then therefore ergo the best Ricky Royal game that there is as well. Yeah, absolutely, they are both deck builders, but what I like particularly about Deckers is first of all, I was able to buy it. Secondly, again, it's just one of those things where they listened to the feedback, where they knew they had a great game there, where the previous publisher hadn't quite treated it in the way that it needed to be treated, and therefore they've lovingly, over the last few years, refined it, honed it, taken all that feedback on board, and made this most accessible. They made this game that felt like a complex game really accessible for everybody. It's a beautiful, beautiful game, and Unstoppable is a John D. Clare game.
wow, just throwing shade at poor. I don't know if John D. Clare watches any of our videos, but he definitely hates us all now. And Ricky Royal's in the asylum. This is great. So the good thing here is I actually now want to play both of these games, which is a big deal. Whether I can chase them down or not, I don't know. But the real question here is, do I let the hypocrisy ride? But both of you have been guilty of the hypocrisy. The question is, who has been more guilty of it and who has hurt me more with the hypocrisy?
I'm leaving.
Well, if Mark wants to tap out and make it easy for me. So this is tough. I mean, Unstoppable has the power of Renegade Games behind it, I think. That's pretty big. I don't even know who does Deckers.
It's Pegasus Spiel.
So Pegasus Spiel.
Bigger than Renegade.
Okay, yeah. Oh, well, I think I just killed my own argument for Deckers. So based on myself killing my own argument, and Mark is a two-time winner, which cannot happen again. It has to be
Well,
wait.
Well, I just want to put out that right. So you reckon that Ricky is in the asylum for being up against himself earlier? Bear in mind we had three Ricky Royal games in here. You just knocked out the last three Ricky Royal games. So what you're saying to Ricky Royal, who's obviously now in a state of mental distress, is that you're not actually good enough for anything. Yeah. That's
No, we already
just put that
established
out
that he
there.
also
Yeah.
designed Uprising and Unstoppable, as we've established.
Yeah, that's right. Like, so what's the problem?
No one's name has ever been said this much.
I got to fit. Is that me out of this competition now?
Yeah, Ricky Royal has put. Yeah, Ricky Royal put you out of the competition.
Yeah, it's his fault.
There just feels like
Not
a
Will's,
real.
just Ricky's.
It just feels like when you're getting rid of the Brits. There's a whole Boston Tea Party thing going on here. Quite frankly, yes. Yeah? So...
Yep, and instead of tea, we threw Ricky Royal into the harbor. All right, for the finale, we have Uprising, Curse of the Last Emperor, specifically focused on the solo mode, versus Unstoppable, specifically focused on it's John D. Clare, not Ricky Royal. Mike, would you like to go first?
Yeah, I mean, these are both U games, which is pretty unusual. Oh, another U word. All U. Unstoppable,
yeah, unstoppable,
uprising,
yeah,
unusual.
yeah.
Uh-oh.
That's the argument?
That's it.
That's not the argument. I'm not done yet. Uprising True Solo Mode is great. No doubt there. But this is a giant, take up an entire calyx. I mean, gosh, if you want to get it all now, it was like $400, $500 in the recent thing. And I know Mark doesn't care about that. I know I've used this exact argument before, and I think he actually likes it better if games are unaffordable for the vast majority of his viewers. I think he prefers that. But maybe in his gnarled heart of hearts, he will think about how Unstoppable, once it's available again, because man, it was just so great that it's sold out everywhere, and that's why they're doing reprints and all that kind of stuff for it. That was a game that was only like $60 when it was available. Quick and easy to play, not 85 hours or whatever Will said Uprising had. Uprising, again, I mean, I love Uprising, but I will call out the things in case we've forgotten them. Dice-based combat that even with the new druids can completely screw you and destroy your entire game. And you've been playing for 3 hours and you roll bad in a climactic fight, and all 3 hours are destroyed. Cooperative play where players can be knocked out of the game. Uprising is an amazing game, but it is so full of pain points. So many pain points. Table size, price point. Until you get the true solo, trying to play it solo and manage everything. Player elimination, dice-based combat. There's a lot of stuff that is going to make Uprising fall flat. The one thing Unstoppable has going for it is that it is hard. I will admit that. People on our Discord have talked about playing it 8 or 9 times and not winning until their 10th play. But hey, what's better for a solo game? For all of us that have played Mage Knight, for example, isn't it great to have a game that you actually learn how to get better at? And it's quick to play, like half an hour to an hour, so it's not going to like take you that long. It's got so much in there. If you crank up the difficulty once you know the game well, it's going to give an amazing challenge every time. Unstoppable. The name of the game is Unstoppable. So do you want to have a game that can't be stopped, or do you want to have an uprising, and not an uprising against people who deserve it, like Donald Trump, who Will supports, but an uprising...
What? You take that
against...
back.
Okay, I take that back. But an uprising against good value and good common sense. That's really what the name of the game is for Uprising.
Okay. So let's talk about pain points here. First thing, he's talking about the unaffordability. Would you rather have unaffordable or unavailable? So there's that. Next, he's talking about this playing for 3 hours as a pain point. You don't play for 3 hours with the solo. You play for like an hour. That's all. He talks about how impossible Unstoppable is to win. If that's what you want, you can make Uprising really, really hard. It's got those little red skull cards. You throw all those red skull cards in, and you just, I don't know what you're doing with your life. You just want to suffer. So you can make it as hard as you want, but you can also, maybe win once in a while. Uprising, if you want, you can play with 4 or 5 other people if you have that joy. You can play with 2 people with Unstoppable if you can get a copy of the game, which we know you can't. And also, let's not forget that Unstoppable sent Ricky Royal to the asylum.
Okay. Wow. I mean, compelling arguments from both people there. I think, Will, throughout this entire endeavor today, you've thrown nothing but shade my way, quite frankly. And if you're looking to win your first ever Three Idiots, I don't know if that's the right way to go about it. Mike, in your last
A
impassioned
leopard
view,
don't change his stripes, man.
in your last impassioned proclamation about Unstoppable, I think you said somewhere, Mark, in your gnarled heart of hearts. Yeah, again,
that was not insult. That's just facts. Okay, that's just facts. The heart is known to gnarl more in your 50s. You know, it's there's a gnarling process that happens.
Okay,
but you make gnarl look really good.
That's right. You're the gnarliest. Ha ha. In
you're Gnarls
sense
Barkley without problems. You're the non-problematic Gnarls Barkley.
Oh God, in all of this shit already. Right, okay. Okay. So yeah, really good argument for Unstoppable. And I think that Unstoppable is clearly like it's been a massive hit this year. Loads of people loving it. It is a game that I actively want to seek out and I want to try Unstoppable. Everybody tells me I need to try it. Obviously, missed the boat when it first came out. It's certainly something I want to do. Will, as you know, I already love Uprising, and I do think that the solo mode is just it's chef's kiss to that game. Yeah. Does it need more content after this? I'm not too sure. But from what they've done so far, looked at all the rules, etc., it's absolutely fantastic. However, when it comes down to choosing the Three Idiots Game of the Year this year, I think I have to take one thing into consideration here. You've effectively, the pair of you, kicked the Brits out of this competition, basically. Yeah. John D. Clare is an American, I believe, and the guys who designed
they're European.
European.
That's closer. And the fact that you're not European anymore is not America's fault.
I see myself as I am European. I'm just not in the EU. Right?
I just looked it up, and John D. Clare is out of Los Angeles, California.
Yeah.
Which, if you squint and really alter how the Yucatan Peninsula works, could be part of Mexico.
It could.
That is the most ugly American thing ever. And also, I would like to point out that Michael Kelly brought up Trump.
You did a Trump impression on earlier in the episode.
So I do think Uprising is going to come. Not Rising. Unstoppable is going to come back. We will have the Dungeon Crawler Carl one coming back from Uprising. We'll see more. I'm sure there'll be expansions and everything coming back from Uprising. So for that reason, because I got a feeling, depending on when the Dungeon Crawler Carl one comes out, that we'll all be fighting for that on our top 10 list in a year or two's time, basically. So for that reason, and the fact that I want to keep that you kicked Europe and the UK out of this, I am choosing Uprising, Curse of the Last Emperor as the Three Idiots Game of the Year. Will you get your...
You did it!
Mike, you're right. We should have given him the win. I get it right now. I don't think he's listened to this bit, but we worked it well, so he got the win. Yeah, so that's all right. Yeah.
That is, you know what? I'll take it. A win is a win. Glorious. Finally, a deserving winner. That's not true. They've all been... Well, I don't know about Exceed Battle System because I still haven't played that.
I'll play that with you anytime, man.
But all the other games have been very deserving. I still can't remember what won the second time.
Yeah.
Anybody know?
No. Sorry?
I'm trying to remember what it was. Elder Scrolls was last year. It was Mark the year before, but what was it?
I can't remember.
I mean, it wasn't a Lacerda.
No.
It was probably Elder Scrolls again.
It's all Elder Scrolls.
Or some other chip theory game. It was like Hoplomachus.
But there you have it. So Uprising, Curse of the Last Emperor. It is still available on late pledge, I believe. It's a chonky thing. It is a lot of money, but
no, it is fantastic.
It is glorious.
It's really good.
Worthy winner, especially with the new True Solo mode.
That gave that game a whole new lease on life for me.
Yeah, but I am so desperate to try Unstoppable. I have been over Christmas, keep checking the websites, board game stores, etc. in the UK just to see if anybody's got it in stock, basically, because everybody's telling me I need to try it. I do want to try it, really, because I love Dungeon Crawler Carl. Will looks Dungeon Crawler, Carl. I can't wait to see what they do with that. Hopefully, they kind of do it justice there as well. So yeah, I'm so looking forward to trying Unstoppable.
Have you asked the designer Ricky Royal if you can just borrow one of his
Well,
copies?
I would do. Unfortunately, Ricky is now, he's not available for a while. He's in convalescence now. You see, after this, he's in convalescence. I can't believe he had 3 games in this, and you guys unceremoniously said, "Hey, Ricky, yeah, you're not welcome. Just get on with your life. You're not welcome in the board space."
Well, I've never met him, and
I like how
I
you're
guess
saying you guys when I had 2 of 3 or wait, 2,
No,
1.
I had 2.
I know you had 2 and I had 1. Will's really the demon here. Will's the brute.
Yeah.
I may be a demon, but I'm a demon who won. I have heard a lot about Deckers actually. I have been.
It's good fun.
Oh,
It really
Deckers
is
is
fun.
fantastic. You got to play that too.
Yeah, I
and
have
actually, funnily, I like Deckers more co-op. I think it's great.
All right.
Co-op.
Okay. Yep. I've not played it co-op. Yeah.
Yeah. We mean in all of your oh, you only have one game group. You're not like Mike with game groups.
No, I've only got 1 game group. Yeah.
Just one. Barbarian. All right. Last thoughts. Make your pitch. Why should everybody go check out your channels? Down in the description, everybody. There's a link to both of these chuckleheads. Mark, as the distant third place finisher, we'll let you go first.
As the also run, and that's the reason that you should go and visit my channel. Unlike Will and Mike, who are obviously, successful in everything that they do, I'm just a tryhard, quite frankly. So if you want
a
to go
sweaty tryhard, if you
sweaty tryhard with no friends. So if you just want to look at solo board games from a sweaty tryhard who's closer to 60 than 50, obviously have some cognitive issues because he can't finish a sentence in his today. And, if you want to support the British, because these 2 guys obviously hate anything that's not American as well, America first, guys, then go and visit Not Board Gaming.
I do have to again say the winner is from a bunch of Europeans.
Yeah, but I had to choose that. Yeah. So, yeah.
All right, Mike, make your pitch for why you're great, other than your 57 million subscribers.
I mean, yeah, we got a YouTube channel. It's fun. Reviews and playthroughs. And then a podcast every week. It's fun too. We started doing if you aren't listening to the One Stop Co-op Shop podcast, we started doing recently every other episode a blind ranking to close out the episode, which I'd never done before. Do y'all know what this is? A blind ranking?
No.
Yeah, it's fun.
I mean, we both listen to the podcast,
of course,
every week,
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
But
yes,
remind us.
Yeah, we're all plugged in. But yeah, so how a blind ranking works is let's say I picked 5 true solo games secretly. And then I would tell them to you, and you'd have to rank them 1 through 5, but you don't know what the other games are as you rank each individual game. I might be like Old King's Crown, and Mark will be like 2, and then I'm like, okay, Deckers, and you're like 1. But then I say the next game, and it's your favorite game ever, but you've already given away your first and second place. So yeah, it's a fun thing.
Oh, cool, sounds good.
And they're binding, right? So like you have to live by.
Yeah. I mean, well, it's all in good fun, but yes, it is binding, and we have to stick to it and sell all the games that get at the bottom of the list immediately.
Oh, you have to sell the game at the bottom of the list?
No, he's not really.
That would be amazing. Oh my gosh, you guys need to do that.
Hardcore rules, yeah.
You need to do that for 1 episode. That would be intense.
That would make my kids sad, depending on the game that's sold.
Well, no game will ever be better than that one that I played with you with the weird the goth guy and his this
Oh, the Restless.
Yes.
That game was great. That was amazing.
Weirdest thing in the world. I don't know. Did that thing fund?
Yeah, I don't know what happened with that game. I don't know if it's like in production still or what's going on.
Do you still have that prototype?
No, I think I recycled it.
Mark, we would send you some image. I'd get him to send you some images.
Mark can watch a video for the first time ever on my channel. He can see it in action.
Oh, that's right. I even did the voiceover for one of them, Mark.
That's right. Yeah, it's pretty great.
Oh, but wait, Mike has a channel?
Yeah.
All right, okay.
I mean, it's Philly Collins. It's Philly Collins channel.
That's right. Jeez.
All right. Anyhow, we're still babbling here. Everybody, if you enjoyed the 3 idiots, as always, like, subscribe, share, do all the things. Make sure you watch at least 1 video from Mark so his heart can grow 2 sizes this season. And thank you all so very much for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
There we go.